And welcome everybody. Which camera am I on? This one, I think. It's always such a toss-up. It's a juggle, right? Welcome, welcome, welcome everybody. Uh, it's another Friday night. I'm running a little bit behind. Uh, so, but it's what it is. It's probably because it's so cold. Everything is in slow motion. Uh, yeah, the cold front has infiltrated uh, the middle part of our country. Not sure. I haven't gotten a chance to watch Mr. Ryan Hall, who is an excellent weatherman, and he would have let me know, but I haven't had a chance to watch him. So there's that. But I know here it is cold. I think our high today we got 35. Tomorrow is supposed to be cold, but then Sunday is going to be killer cold. They said that's what they call it, killer cold. Basically, if you are outside for any length of time, it could be deathly. So, yeah, killer cold coming. But thankfully, I got my heaters fixed, and so it's if you feel a wall or something, you can. It's cold, but it's tolerable in the house. So I feel for all you people that live in the upper states, Michigan, New Jersey. Yeah, uh, you guys are really cold, I would imagine. I think it goes all the way. The cold front goes all the way up. I'll switch over to this one so I can see who's here. Yes. Roy made it in. It's just the right temperature here, 26 degrees Celsius. Yeah, not so much here, right? And he's saying good day, Sly. I just love that. I just love it. Good day. Uh, it's a Aussie thing. And Scott says a warm welcome to you. Scott, are you staying warm? I feel for you, bud. I don't know how y'all do it because, well, I guess you get more of it. In Oklahoma, we usually don't get this much of it and never this early. So, yeah, it's kind of we had golf ball hail last night that I thought was going to take the house out. It started pelting, and hail just starts off slowly, and so you hear a boom, 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 boom. And then as it goes on, it gets faster and faster and faster and faster. And uh, I thought the house was coming apart, to be honest with you. Got a little bit of damage to my truck, but not enough to. It didn't damage the truck itself, just the tonneau cover. So not enough turned into the insurance, but it was so cold. How cold was it, Sly? It was so cold that today the hail was still on the ground, like it hadn't melted. So yeah. Roy says it was 35 degrees Celsius here yesterday. So you're having some beautiful weather, and I'm envious. Very, very envious. Peter says killer cold. Yes, it is. And everybody here has the sniffles. Everybody's, walking around. I won't say they have colds because I'm not sure it's actually a full-fledged, like, cold. It's just the sniffles because, when it's that cold, your nose just drips like a faucet. So, Jeff, how you doing, bud? Afternoon on a Saturday afternoon from Brisbane. How are you? How cold is it down your way? It's cold. It's cold, Jeff. You would not like it in Oklahoma right now. Um, Scott says I was in Lowe's the other day and saw some Stanley tumblers for $33. What is the sensation about? So apparently they were on TikTok, and there was something else on TikTok. I'll tell you about in a minute. If it's on TikTok, it goes viral. And these Stanley tumblers, that was this year's hottest selling item anywhere. Like everybody sold out. The only place that had any left before Christmas was Lowe's because nobody knew they had them. Amazon was sold out. You could still find them on Amazon, but people were selling them for 60, $65. Um, so which is crazy. And I guess people were buying them. But yeah, Lowe's is carrying now Stanley cups and what have you. And so the craze is kind of, now that Christmas is over, kind of dying out. And now they're stuck with all these cups. So, I mean, they're good cups, don't get me wrong. But honestly, I have I can't think of what that brand is. Um, I have one I like better. It's blue. I don't know what the brand is. It's got like arrows or something on it. Um, yeah, I don't know. Senior moment. But anyway, it's it the way it's made, it holds more. I like the straw better. It's got a straw that actually bends, and the base is small enough to fit in my cup holder, so I can take it with me a lot easier. The Stanley's a nice cup, don't get me wrong, but the straw is rigid, and so, and the cup is quite tall. So if you're driving with it and try to take it, I just like my other one better. And I cannot think of the name of it, but it's got a little man, a little, like a little Indian symbol or something on the front of it. Uh, Peter says, is Scotty in the cold area? Yes, he is. Scott is in the very, very cold area. And Randy should be a little bit warmer than me. Hey, Randy. Hey, Sly, did you get your heater working? Yes, I did. Um, I have the electric one on. We'll see if it stays. Everything should stay for at least a little bit. If we go black, then I'll turn everything off and come back on. But um, yes. So what we did is we put a second heater in. So now I've got these two great big gas, one at either end of the house, and it's amazing how it like warmed up this end too, adding a second heater to the other end of the house. So um, it's tolerable. Yeah, it's tolerable. I still, when I'm not on camera, I still have my little fluffy bathrobe on. So um, yeah, but I didn't think you guys were quite ready for that yet. Okay? Sly in a fluffy bathrobe is a sight to behold. It has like kitten ears and yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, Gregory, welcome. Says too cold for me. Where are you from, sir? Are you enduring the cold with the rest of us? Or are you in a warmer climate like Peter? Peter said it got down to 60 and he was cold. What I would do for 60, right, Scott? Scott says it's 35 degrees here, no wind, so pretty tolerable. 35 is chilly. Our high today got up to 35, I think. It was just above freezing. Scott said, when I was a kid, winters in Michigan were terrible. We haven't had a bad winter in decades now. Crazy. Really? Because I would have thought Michigan was a lot colder than, because I'm a lot further south than you are. And it's cold here. Roy says, I only know Stanley is a tool maker. Yes. Well, they came out with those insulated cups. Everybody seems to make them. And I guess somebody put a short on TikTok and they went viral. So, speaking of, there's these little toolboxes that are about this big, about like this. They've got like two little drawers, and then the top opens up. Uh, you know, you've seen the big roll around toolboxes. Well, the little ones got put on TikTok and went absolutely viral. They sold for $20 a piece. Nobody could keep them in stock. I mean, they were just literally, we would get a shipment of maybe 400 in, and they would be gone the next day. So, what do you use those for? I don't know. Other than just, I don't know. I don't, who knows? Uh, Randy says the tumbler you have are in two colors, blue or red and white. The tumbler you have are in two colors, blue and red or white or red. Um, so the ones that I sent Peter are Arctic. That's the brand. Because he really doesn't travel with it a lot. So, um, Arctic makes really good stuff and it's reasonably priced, but it doesn't have a straw, right? And when you're driving, if you try to take a drink, you know, then you're blocking your view and you can't see. But he doesn't really drive with one, so I didn't think that would be an issue. Um, I drive a lot, and so I would usually have something to drink with me. And I find that having a straw is a lot handier than my the one I usually carry is a kind of a teal color. It's a Contigo, but you have to do this number, and it's so the straw works out better if you're driving. But the Stanley straw is straight, and this other brand that I cannot think of what it is, the straw is flexible. So I don't know where the blue comes in at. So yeah, I have quite a few. And I can't remember the brand of any of them. I think one of them is Refresh or something like that. But it's too big to fit in my cup holder, so don't like those. Um, and then this one that has the Hydro Flask, I think. I think it's called a Hydro Flask, is the brand. But it is blue, but it's big on top, but then it tapers down to where it fits perfectly in my cup holder. So that's my cup of choice. And there's Lewis. Hi everyone. Hello. I just got to watch your your shorts from last Saturday today. Yeah, go figure. I didn't get to watch it. I got to listen to it while I was driving with my blue tumbler. Scott says I don't think I'd pay over $7 for a drinking tumbler. Well, the I'm pretty sure it's called a hydro flask. I might have to look that up. Um, I think it was more than $7, but it wasn't as high as the Stanley. So it was probably around 15 or 16 or something. Jeff says, have I missed something? What is the Stanley Cup? Okay, so I'm going to disappear for just 2 seconds, and I'm going to go get these cups so you guys know what we're talking about. I'll be right back. Give me 2 seconds. Okay, give me 5. I'm old and it's all the way at the other end of the house. you. Okay. Didn't know we were going to be talking about cups tonight. Okay. This is the Stanley Cup that everybody was coveting. Uh, runs $35, I believe, at Lowe's. And they're nice. They're okay. But the straw is not flexible. That's that's as much as you're going to get out of it right there. They're insulated. They're both stainless steel insulated cups, but the straw is straight and not flexible. So this this is Hydro Flask. Ooh, I got it right. Okay. See, it's got the little cute little symbol on it. But this one, the straw is flexible. So while you're driving, you can flex the straw, and I mean they're both. I can get it undone there. Yeah. See, they're both pretty much the same. They both keep your beverage cold, but I prefer this one because if you look at these side by side, uh, this well actually the Hydro Flask a little bit shorter too. I can get them up there for you. I've got my hands in the way. Okay, so it's a little bit shorter, but it's bigger around on the top, and then they both fit in my cup holder, which is fine. But this one is harder to drink out of because you're driving and it's just not as easy as the Hydro Flask. This one. So for driving, and this is not as expensive, but the Stanley went on. Somebody made a TikTok. I didn't see it. I don't. I have TikTok, but I haven't watched it, and I couldn't tell you how long. Somebody made a TikTok about these and it went viral and they sold out everywhere. So this was like, you know how every Christmas it'll be that one thing, like one year it was Tickle Me Elmo and they sold out everywhere. Well, this year it was the Stanley Cup, and yeah. So that's what all the hubbub is about right there. Scott says, I hear it's pretty cold and messy in Maine. Maine, New York, New Jersey, I think a lot of people have gotten a lot of snow, and we're supposed to get, are you ready for this? Ice first. I didn't, okay. Ice first, and then the very next day, snow. So I can pretty much drive on snow. I've got those, big beefy tires on my truck, but nobody can drive on ice unless you've got studs in your tires, which as bad as this is going to be, it's only going to last 2 or 3 days. And then we'll be out of this wave. It never lasts very long in Oklahoma. We're too far south. But so when we get it, everyone turns into idiots. It's just nature of the beast. Jim, how you doing? Hi, Sly. Happy Friday. I think you should review fluffy bathrobes in addition to bags. Yes, well, so my grandson likes what they call character robes. And he has a dinosaur and a dragon. And then he has a Sonic bath towel that has the thing that goes over your head. And like a Sonic hood, I guess. And then he has a shark blanket. So there's a whole nother side to Sly that you guys have not seen, because I'm often in the shark blanket, and you have to put the hood up. And so you have a shark head, and the blanket has fins you can put your hands in so you can, yeah, yeah. So anyway, when we went on vacation, obviously we were getting a fancy hotel room and everything. And so I ordered his mother and I character bathrobes, and she wanted the fox. Go figure. So I got the cat. So I have a gray cat bathrobe, and it's very, very cozy. And now I don't put the hood on unless he's here, but it's got little paws. So we have a lot of fun. We role play quite a bit. Yeah. Uh, Jeff says, "Don't forget to hit that like button." That's right. Thumbs up, please, please. I haven't even looked. Oh yeah, yeah. What? Thank you, Jeff, because I forget. Gregory is in South Florida, about 30 miles north of Peter. Okay. Um, so nice. Yeah. So you don't know what these frigid temps are about, but I hear it's cooler. I hear Florida is still experiencing a winter, just not like the rest of the country. Randy says, "Isn't that three colors?" Yes. He said blue and red and white. Maybe he's thinking red and white is on one, like a candy cane stripe thing. Maybe I'm not sure. Um, the Stanley tumblers and loaves I saw earlier this week were in light pastel colors, if I recall correctly, geared more towards females, I think. So that's because that's all they have left. This is a color that they carry. They have a navy blue. They have uh, it's another, it's like a gray. Then they have a stainless steel color. So I mean, they have some colors for guys too, but it's just, will they come down in price? I don't know. But yeah, but then I have like a couple of other brands as well, and I don't like them better. I like this one. Okay, this is just, and it's because of the flexible straw. Let's get real. And the fact that I think this is a 32 ounce. That may be a 30 ounce. Um, I think they came in 30 and 40, but the 40 had a bigger base, and I was worried it wouldn't fit in my cup holder. So, um, 32 ounces is plenty. That'll take me, 32 ounces will pretty much take me all day anywhere I want to go. So, yeah, I'm good with that. Every hockey team wants the Stanley Cup. Different cup. Yeah, different cup. I'm pretty sure that Stanley Cup is made out of silver. Sterling silver. Yeah. Which I have a question about that for Peter. Because I have a bunch of sterling silver that you have to polish which yeah, I don't do. Um, but years ago they talked about being born with a silver spoon in your mouth, and I do have a sterling silver baby cup. Well, Peter's always talking about that colloidal silver. And so I'm just wondering, if you drink from a silver cup, is it good for you? I wouldn't think since you have to polish it and everything. I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know if it'd be good for you or not. Roy says, "At first I thought you were talking about the Stanley Cup Sports Award, right?" No, it's actually the Tool people have started making, and they make more than this. They make, like, I believe there was 12 different kinds of stainless steel drinkware. There was like a insulated wine, uh, one of those, they're like this tall, and they're like the top part of a wine glass without the stem. And then there was like a coffee, like like you'd see around a campfire, how they have those blue speckled metal cups that size. Only it's one of these. It's stainless steel insulated cup, but it's that size. And there was just a whole bunch of different ones. So I don't know what the craze about all this is, but um, yeah, that was for Christmas. The Stanley Cup was like the number one seller. Scott says, "Ooh, the Hydro Flask looks nice. Nice review, right?" Yeah, I should make a short about that. Just because of the straw. That if other people would make, and like this part is silicone, so if other people would make, and then I think the bottom, it's the same material as this, which, so under the lid it's rigid, so it's not like it's flopping around under there, but I just really like the fact that the top part is flexible. And it doesn't, okay, since we're on cups, why not? So most of my cups, well, no, some of my cups, the lid screws on. Okay, which I guess that's good because it can't come off, right? On the Hydro Flask and several of the other ones I have, it's just a press fitting and there's an O-ring. This one's got like a little gasket. I don't know if you can see that, but it's got a little gasket. Um, so conceivably, if you had enough ice in here and you turned it over, that lid might come off. Whereas on the Stanley, it couldn't. So I don't know. I don't ever turn mine over. I, yeah, it's a thing. Jeff says, "Boy, that Stanley is one big, large flask." Never mind. You're so funny, Jeff. Scott says, "My friend in Fort Worth said they were expecting 7 degrees. Way, way colder than here. Crazy cray." So, um, yes, it's supposed to be 4 degrees tomorrow night, 0 degrees Sunday night. So at that point, animals left outside could be in danger. So, um, and homeless people, and that's like too cold for humans or most animals. Um, I don't know what wild animals do, but I'm sure they have a way of getting warm and staying warm. Scott says, "We've seen the Stanley Tumbler. Now let's see the kitten robe." Yeah, the kitten robe is going to stay on its little hook in there. Greg says, "I'm originally from New York, so you know about the cold. So are you like a snowbird that, uh, or did you just permanently move to Florida?" Um, I like Florida. Florida has a lot of good things about it, but I don't think I could get my whole entourage on board to move anywhere. I think they're pretty much gonna stay put. Roy says, "American cups seem very large." They are. I noticed that. I watch a lot of British TV, and uh, like their coffee cups are tiny compared to ours. So, you'll see somebody drinking coffee, even out of a mug, and they're a lot smaller than what the American versions are. So, yeah, maybe we consume a lot more liquids. I don't know. You wouldn't think so, but well, Michelle Hershey, welcome. I don't believe I've seen you in here before, so welcome. And I have a question for you. Okay, uh, fire away. Do you like silk material? Yes or no? Not a fan. not a fan. It's usually, and right now I would not go anywhere near anything silk because it's cold and silk tends to stay cooler. Uh, so, back in the day, and I'm dating myself, but I've been around a long time. Uh, but at one point, silk shirts were a thing and they really cling to your body. And so I'm not a fan of the silk shirts. The silk robes are cold and thin. There is nothing, they don't wick moisture. They don't, so no, I'm not a fan of silk, uh, anything. But welcome. Nice to have you here. Roy says, such big cups. Now I know why you have all that yellow snow. Yeah, don't eat the snow. Uh, Greg says, permanently moved, been down here for 30 plus years. Okay. I have a friend that used to live in Oklahoma and they moved to Florida. So that was, and she loves it. She loves it. Now she lives in the northern part of the state. So Jeff says, no way, 4 degrees Fahrenheit, 15 Celsius. That's way too cold even for me. Yes, it's the kind of cold that takes your breath away when you go outside. It's like, whoo, so makes it kind of hard to breathe at first. But like I said, in Oklahoma, it doesn't last. Everybody gets all freaky out and they run to the grocery store and they buy the shelves, bare, and it doesn't last. So if you have enough food in your fridge for 3 days, you're probably just fine. You know, in fact, the, it this week, not only did we get the heater fixed, but then I guess it was Tuesday, I went to put something in the microwave, and the microwave blew up. So, yeah, go figure. Uh, so I replaced that today, and that's my getting ready for the storm. I have other things I could use besides the microwave, but we're used to what we're used to. So I like my microwave. Thank you very much. And so I replaced that today. And I'm not Michelle. I'm Brock. Okay. Well, welcome, Brock. Uh, nice to have you here. Um, Roy says, I tried silk sheets, kept sliding out of the bed. Right? I remember the craze with the silk sheets and what have you. And yeah, I'm with you, Roy. I just, they were slippery and slidey, and yeah, no. I don't like flannel sheets either, which, Peter and I were talking about that the other day. I like flannel for shirts. It's fine for a shirt, but they're not slippery enough for sheets. Silk is too slippery and flannel is not slippery enough. So there's that. Peter says, right, Roy, jump, if you jump into your bed too fast, you're going to fly right out the other side. A little slippier and slidey. Roy says, bamboo seems to be the new trendy material. Yeah, so here, bamboo made its trend about, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years ago. And I tried it. I got the bamboo pillows and I got the bamboo sheets and it all smells. It has an odor to it that I just don't like. And the sheets I like a thick sheet, not thick as flannel, but thicker. And the bamboo sheets were very thin, and they had an odor to them, and the pillows had an odor to them. And no, you can keep your bamboo. Don't like the bamboo. Do you have a silk shirt? Uh, Not anymore. Yeah, when that craze or that fad or whatever you want to call it moved on, I promptly got rid of all my silk shirts because I don't like them. Um, they're just, I guess maybe they retain or they trap body heat. Maybe I don't really remember. I do remember guys sweating a lot that would wear the silk shirts. So, um, but and when you have silk sheets, the bed is always cold. Like anywhere, if you move your foot, it's in a cold zone till it heats up, and then if you move it again, we're back to another cold zone. So yeah, I'm just not a fan. Scott says, I wish I could find those high quality hotel sheets. They're very dense. I paid $100 for a set at JCPenney and they were pretty average. So, um, Ross, that, what is it called? Ross Dress for Less. They used to carry the 1,000 thread count hotel, whatever, whatever. And they were like 35 bucks. And they lasted, I wash my sheets a lot. So they would last longer than any of the rest of them. Now I've ordered the Amazon, supposedly the latest and greatest Amazon sheets. They got a ton of good reviews, and let me tell you, they suck. Just gonna throw that out there. They don't wash. I mean, when they're brand new, they're okay, and maybe that's what all the reviews were about. But if you wash them a couple of times, they're done. And I think they were about 29 or $30 somewhere like that. So yeah. What else have I tried? I've tried some other sheets from Ross because I haven't been able to find the hotel sheets lately, and I'm very sad about that because that was my go-to place for sheets, and they are the thicker, yeah. Um, High thread count are too smooth too. Well, but they were thicker, and so they were. I don't know. They just felt good, and they lasted quite a while. I still have quite a few of the pillowcases, but yeah, it doesn't seem like. And so I was asking my daughter, and her take on sheets is very funny. She buys the cheapest possible sheet she can find at Walmart. Excuse me. Because she likes cute little sheets, like she'll be in the mood for flowers, or I don't know, she just gets all these little cute sheets. And if they last 4 or 5 washings, she's completely good with that. And then she just throws them away. But they're very, very thin. And I don't like them because they don't stay. I like my sheets to stay tucked, you know, where they're supposed to be. And her sheets, the corners come off. And yeah, yeah. So I'm not a fan. Do you think the delivery services, Amazon, UPS, will operate Monday and so on? I think Amazon will. I don't know if FedEx will. UPS is kind of hit and miss with some of those holidays, so I don't know about UPS. The Postal Service will not. So if you're expecting anything in the mail, you'll have to wait till Tuesday. Um, but yeah, it's I didn't realize Monday was a bank holiday until I saw something. Oh, I was supposed to get a package and it got moved up to Saturday because Monday's a holiday. Roy says Egyptian cotton is 1,000 threads per inch. I think that's what these were made of, was Egyptian cotton blend. I have had 100% cotton before, and it is a nightmare when it comes out of the dryer. So yeah, I I'm sure. Well, I know once you get on the bed, it's fine, but when it comes out of the dryer, it's all wrinkly and yeah. So as you're folding it, you're smoothing it, the whole, yeah. I sound very domesticated, don't I? And I'm really not. We had a Ross open recently. I'll have to check them out. I wash mine weekly. Yeah, that seems to be the thing. Um, the I don't know about up there, but down here they quit carrying them, or at least they haven't had them for 3 or 4 months. Because I've been kind of every time I go in there, I'll kind of browse through the sheet thing to see, and I haven't been able to find them for several months. But oh, I love Ross. Ross is like, Scott, I'm surprised you aren't like a Ross fan, because Ross is like stupid cheap. I buy all little men's clothes at Ross. Most of mine come from there. So, or Target. I believe these came from Target. Yeah. Um, Peter says, yeah, treading on thin ice there, buddy. Yeah. Yeah. Uh, Brock, we have kind of a family show, and even though it's a group of guys and sometimes there's some ladies in here, we kind of like to keep it a little more above board. So, uh, yeah, there you go. Yeah. So, um, and that's okay. I mean, everybody's welcome, but just, you know, play nice, I guess is that what they say to guys? I don't know. Play nice. Um, because it is kind of a family show, and my grandson, he likes to watch Granny on the replay. So it's a lot quieter when he's not here and he's watching me on the replay. But occasionally I have him here with me, and so we just don't go down that road. So, but, and thank you guys, Peter and Scott, for taking care of that. Um, you wouldn't expect it, but we get all kinds. Um, so what I was going to talk about something tonight, and now you guys have got me completely sidetracked on cups, and I cannot remember for the life of me what it was. Oh, um, so I was trying to listen to Peter's. I don't get to watch him anymore because I'm trying to get this set up. But uh, did you say Kyle sent you a Lonzy fan? Because I've been kind of interested in. I don't know that my M6 needs one, but I did have some issues at Christmas with that and with the Osmo 4. So I thought. Turns out after reviewing the SD cards, it was the M6, which I never have a problem with it here. But uh, so I'm thinking maybe it was the SD card. Maybe. Um, where is Big H going to be during the storm? Big H going to be during the storm. Um, well, probably with his dad. I guess. I mean, because that's Sunday night is when it's supposed to get really bad, and that's usually when they make the transfer. So I don't really know what their plans are. Uh, they, they don't check with me. I just know I've been cut out of the loop just a little bit. Roy says, camera bags made of silk? Um, that might not be a bad thing. Be very soft against your lens, I guess. I don't know why they aren't, because honestly, I'm trying to think of what the dividers. I've seen them made of flannel, but I think most of them are just. Um, I just happen to have Isn't that cute? It's like a little camera bag. Well, it's not silk, but it's not flannel either. But it is like a soft, shiny kind of material. I don't know. Isn't that cute? The sides are usually flannel because, or so you can attach that, like hook and loop stuff anywhere. So I guess that would be why they're not made of silk. I don't know. I do not know. Peter says, "You're out in the cold again." Sorry, I couldn't resist. Yeah, I really, Peter, I feel more like the elf on the shelf, right? If we need a babysitter, they take me down off the shelf, and then when they're done with me, they put me back on the shelf. So, um, yeah, that's kind of Granny's been having her feelings kind of hurt lately because I've been on the shelf, and I don't like it on the shelf. So, yeah, but it's all good. It'll always come back around to me, right? Eventually, they always need a babysitter or they always need something. So, eventually, it, my day will come again, you know. But, but the bad thing is the we haven't had heat at work for over a month, and they got everything fixed. They had to completely replace all the gas lines to 25 units. There's 25 rooftop units on a typical Lowe's. And they had to replace the gas lines to all of them and to the greenhouse and from the meter underground to the building. Well, apparently, when they were working on the line from the meter to the building, they buried it under the uh, parking lot and left it open, and it rained and it got water in the line, water and mud and what have you. So they're having to dig all that back up, bust the concrete again, and lay a new line. So it doesn't look like we'll have heat before Sunday. So I have a pair of great big Carhartt coveralls that make me look like the what was that? The Michelin tire man. But that's what I will be wearing come Sunday because uh, it's they have these like portable heaters that have like these 12-inch diameter tubes that come from outside where the heater is uh, into the building. So number one, you have to leave the door open at least 12 inches to get that in. And they have two of those to heat the whole building. It doesn't work. I don't know who thought it would, but yeah. So come Sunday, I'll be donning the coveralls. John's here. Hey, John. Hey, Sly. Um, Peter says, best elf ever seen. Seems like we need to order a bag of maturity from Amazon, but I'm not sure it will arrive during the snowstorm. It's all good. It's all good. I'm not stressed about it. Roy says to Peter, I don't fit in a maturity bag. I agree. I don't fit very well in one either. Scott says, my friend was complaining about the cost of lumber. I schooled him on the overhead a home center incurs. So actually, most home centers give away their lumber. I didn't know if you knew that or not. It's what they consider a lost leader item. The profit on lumber is like almost nil. They'll mark other stuff up, crazy, like these Stanley Cups. Uh, there's no way that Lowe's paid $35 for this cup. I'm sure it's probably got a, I don't know, 150% markup on it or something. But lumber is what they call a lost leader, where they're pretty much selling it for cost. which is why you will see the price on lumber fluctuate hourly. They have they've gone now to where they have, like appliances, price changes that are digital, or price labels that are digital, so they can change those without having to peel off the price label and stick a new one on. And because that is, um, it blows like the wind, but they're not making money on their lumber, so they can't afford to lose money either, or not lose a lot. And they do sell a ton of lumber, but it's not necessarily the home centers that are uh, reaping the benefits of the lumber prices. It's the lumber people. So just didn't know if you knew that. And Peter says, really, how can Lowe's have their employees work with it so cold inside? A little bit mean of me, thanks. Um, it's funny because the climate controlled environment, this is what I've been told, is for the customer, not for the associates. So the daytime associates get to reap the benefits of being there when the customers are there, but they turn that stuff off at night, whether it be the air conditioning in the summer or the heat in the winter. Now, normally, if they have heated the building during the day, it's not a problem. And you're working all night anyway, and so you just put on a hoodie and go on. I mean, it's not really that cold. But the building hasn't had heat for a month, day or night, right? So it is now getting very cold in there. And they're trying with these little heaters. I will give them that. They are trying, and they leave them running all night. But yeah, it has been so cold in there that I have to do a lot of paperwork, and it's so cold I can't write. And so it comes out looking like I'm a first grader because my hands are too stiff to write. So I love the color on those Carhartt jackets. You like the brown, okay? In fact, I wore one of mine today that's kind of a purple. Well, it matches my shirt. It's kind of a mauvey purple color. But yes, I have a lot of different uh, colors of Carhartts. Scott says, I did not realize the loss on lumber. I guess it's all a commodity now, like silver and gold. Yes. You know, there for a hot minute, they were illegally bringing lumber in from Mexico. They would have a manifest that said it was something else, and it would be a truck full of lumber. Like it'd be a Coca-Cola truck full of lumber because lumber prices got so high. So, yes, invest in lumber. Does corporate control the temps in the store? Absolutely. And they are in North Carolina, and they don't realize when, we're not in the same, I guess we should be in the same, because I think latitude-wise, we're close to the same. But they're so far off sometimes it's not even funny. It'll be 90 degrees outside and they'll have the heat on, or vice versa. It'll be 45 degrees and they'll have the air conditioning on. So, in fact, they still have the fans blowing. They're just not, because the electricity is still hooked up to them. They're just not doing anything except moving cold air around. So, um, I have taken to perpetually wearing, my ears get cold. And I think it was Wednesday night, I got chilled and I never could get warm again the rest of the night. And I mean, I I know it's going to be cold, so I'm bundling up. I mean, I'm wearing like 3 or 4 layers, but I just got chilled the other night and could not get warm. Came home and thankfully the house was warm. So if the house had been cold too, at that point I probably would have waved the white flag and got in a hotel room just to get warm. But thankfully my house is warm now too, so it's all good. Trees must be getting smaller. You think? And why would that be? I saw a 100-year-old dresser with a top that must have been at least 2 foot wide, unjoined. Um, yes and no. I think they still have some big trees that would be 2 feet anyway. But I think it's so much cheaper to make furniture now in with scraps. Um, so if they can, just plane it and join it and finish it, the average consumer probably isn't going to really know. So uh, that seems to be a thing. And now we're selling a lot of that butcher block countertop, and those pieces aren't but like yay big, all glued together. So, I mean, it's pretty, but it's not one solid piece of wood. Scott says, once your feet get chilled, you can never warm up. Um, so, for me, it's my ears and my nose. Yeah. If I can't keep my nose warm and my ears warm, it's over. It's game over. So we had 3 knit stocking caps, and I had forgotten mine, and so I bought one, and thankfully we had some left. So I bought one of the last ones we had left, and I don't know who they made these things for, because this thing is huge. And so I put it on, and at some point during the night, I don't know if I was in the bathroom or what, but I passed a mirror, and I've got like this huge thing way up here, stocking cap. Like, and it was down where it was supposed to be, but there was like a whole, it was just, I had to chuckle because that's what everybody else had been seeing all night, but I didn't realize it was quite that tall. So yeah, I don't know who they make those for. Do you use steel toe boots? No, I do not. Um, I think I've seen a lot of bad accidents happen with steel toes, where the steel gets smashed onto the foot, and then you either lose your toes or you can't get your foot out or whatever. So, no. I think the new trend, Scott, is what they call a composite toe that will actually take some impact, but if it's enough to bend it, like, and trap your foot, the composite breaks, and so you don't have to worry about losing your toes like you do with steel toes. But no, I don't wear either. Um, I don't like them, and I don't. As a rule, I typically don't drop things on my feet. Um, if a forklift is driving by, I tend to stay out of the way of the wheels. Yeah, so there's that. Um, yeah, I've been doing this a really long time, so it's just second nature when you hear a forklift coming or something, you just back up, get out of the way. Um, I've run over my feet several times with ladders and dropped lumber and what have you on them, but I've never hurt my feet. So, um, when you run over your Achilles heel with a blue cart, that's not a lot of fun. You learn really quickly to move your feet out of the way. So maybe it's made me a better dancer. I don't know. It hasn't. I'm just, yeah. No. Scott says you wear sneakers. Sneakers or cowboy boots. Yeah, if when it's cold, typically I'm in boots because especially if it's raining and stuff, uh, the yeah, if it's raining, I do not like having wet feet, and a lot of times I'm on a forklift outside a large part of the evening, and so Yeah, I know. I won't have wet feet. So usually I'm in cowboy boots. Yeah. But, but there again, in the summer, it gets so hot. I don't wear them during the summer. I do wear tennis shoes during the summer because uh, I don't like don't like my feet to get that hot either. So there's that. But I wish I could think of I did have something planned for tonight, but I cannot right now tell you at all what it is. Scott says I didn't use boots until about 10 years ago. I must say I'm much less fatigued at the end of the day. I didn't use boots until 10 years ago. Okay. Um, you're much less fatigued wearing them or not, or wearing tennis shoes. Um, the boots are heavier, but I don't even notice them anymore. I think it's all what you get used to. Because the the boots that I wear, they're um they're made by two different companies, Ariat and Durango, and they have a uh in the sole part, it's really really soft, and so it feels like you're wearing a tennis shoe, but you've got they're somewhat waterproof. I'm not going to say they're 100%. One night I worked out in the rain for like 6 hours. My feet got a little wet, and it was probably 60 degrees, but I got a little chilled that night because I was so wet. I mean, by the time it was time to leave, I looked like, like I had literally just walked out of the shower fully clothed. I mean, everything was wet. So, when you're working in that kind of stuff, it doesn't matter what's on your feet. I worked in sneakers prior to my work boots. Okay. Yeah, I just find that I don't notice the weight difference until it starts warming up. And then you go back to tennis shoes and it's like, oh man, it, it's, it's almost like you're resisting gravity because you're so much lighter on your feet. John says, just curious, do you work in the trades? I missed that earlier. So I did for a lot of years. I was a plumber. Uh, but for the last 17, I worked for Lowe's. So um, I'm actually the last 2 years, I think I've done every position there, just about. The last 2 years, I've been on overnights because it's a 4-day work week. And I have so much vacation that a lot of time, every other week, it's a 3-day work week. And I end up using 2 vacation days a month. And so I work a 4-day, a 3-day, a 4-day, a 3-day. And so that seems to work well for me. And they don't have to find somebody to cover my shift. So, um, yeah, it's a win-win. Yes, sneakers are like walking on a cloud. Well, especially after you've worn boots all winter. Uh, that first couple of days, it's like, oh, there's no weight there. So you have a little more spring in your step. Um, and a lot of the guys at which one of my pet peeves is when people drag their feet. Um, and I have a young man that weighs soaking wet. He's now up to 105 pounds, a little bitty guy. And the boots he bought, I don't know if they're too big for his feet. I'm not sure what the problem is, but oh my gosh, he drags his feet so badly. And I've asked him to pick it up just a little bit. Just pick your feet up just a little bit. And I don't think he can. So, uh, Roy says, chaps with your boots. Roy, you make fun, but They do make, and I have looked, and I will probably be ordering one if this cold stuff continues. They make I used to ride a motorcycle, and I had chaps and a vest that plugged into the motorcycle. It ran off the battery of the motorcycle, and it would keep you ridiculously warm. I mean, you could, I had, of course, gloves, big, thick, heavy gloves, but it would keep you so warm. One morning, I almost fell asleep. So, um, they still make those, and I had not thought of getting one until this little boy who weighs 105 pounds. He came with a hoodie, and it had a light on the chest. And I'm like, what is that about? He's like, oh, it's heated. It's got like wires run through it. And you plug it to a battery pack, and in the kangaroo pocket, it has uh, another pocket to hold the battery pack, and it keeps you warm. So I found them on Amazon, and I will probably be ordering one. I don't think I can get it here in time for this cold snap, but maybe for the next one, because typically January and February are our cold months, and so I'm sure there's another one coming behind this one. Scott says, "Oh, feet dragging drives me nuts." Yeah, one of my only pet peeves. Mine too. Yeah. Um, this boy calls me a ninja because he could never hear me walking up on him. It's because I pick my feet up. Roy says, I remember grabbing the exhaust on the bike to warm up my hands. Yeah, I have been severely burned on my leg from the exhaust. Thank you very much. Not the exhaust pipe, where and it was just I just touched it just very briefly, and it put a good size blister on my leg. It was there for a long, long time. Um, but yeah, my bike riding days are done. I when I found convertibles, I would much rather ride around a convertible, because even if you want to have the top down when it's cold, you can still have the heater blowing on you. So now when it's 0 degrees, I would not have the top down, but uh, and you can listen to the radio, and you know have a phone conversation, and you have so much more freedom in a convertible than you do on a motorcycle. So yeah, I think my bike riding days are over. Jeff says, I will need to say bye till next time. Stay safe, all, and stay awesome. Jeff, you're awesome. Thank you so much for coming in and saying hey and hanging out with us for a little bit. And have a great weekend, the rest of your weekend. I know it's already Saturday there. But yeah, really appreciate you, bud. So, guys, I think we're going to wrap up. And I'll take my cups back to the kitchen and make me something for dinner, my new microwave. That's kind of exciting. Not sure how to use it yet. I I'm not very proficient in the kitchen. Okay, we all know this. It's not like it's a revelation. But so I unpack the microwave. I set it on the thing, and there's no buttons. Like there's a start and something else, but that's it. My old microwave had a whole panel of buttons, and so I'm like, well, how does this work? Because I don't remember what you cook popcorn at. I don't remember how you do the defrost thing, right? It had a button for that. And so I was kind of freaking out just a little bit. And then I opened the door. And the controls are on the inside. Who does that? It was kind of a funny, um, it was just one of those moments where you have to laugh at yourself because you're an idiot. Yeah, I have a lot of those. John says, thanks for the stream. Have a great week, everyone. John, stay warm. I know the weather is going to affect you too, because you're up north. So bundle up. Everybody, please try to stay warm. Try to stay safe. If you do get ice and you don't have to go out in it, please don't. Uh, Roy says, now I need to know what convertible. Well, I had an MGB. I'll date myself a little bit there. And a Chrysler Sebring. So, Scott says, a topless one, Roy. Yes. Uh, the MGB was my favorite. Picked it up for next to nothing, bought it from a bank auction, and yeah, that was one of my favorites. I lost it in a flood. Tulsa got flooded one night, and uh, the car got flooded. So, yeah, but that's been quite a while ago. So I would like to pick up another one, but since I haul around a young man a lot who's not supposed to ride in the front seat, it will have to wait until he's a little bit older. And then I will be that 70-year-old grandma that has the convertible, and he and I can just zip, zip, zip around. So he likes going with Granny. We make quite a traveling team. So I really do hope that my daughter homeschools him so that he can continue to travel with Granny. So anyway, guys, I love you all. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to go check out my new microwave, see if I can heat up a TV dinner or something. And we'll catch up with you next week. Good night, everybody. Good night, my friends.